So I'm actually shorting the market up here. I
Okay.
am shorting the market up here. There's some interesting things showing up in the charts. And I just wanted to point out this thing to you guys is that if you go back to the dot-com bubble, the market fell 41% initially and then rallied back 41% before the bigger rollover that took us down 72%. If you go back to, let's say, the Great Depression, the market dumped out 52%, rallied back 50% before dumping out another 70, 80%. A couple other things to note here. If you look at the NASDAQ, guess where it is? Dropped 38% from the all-time highs of 2021. It has now rallied 37%. So these are the types of things as a technician that I'm looking at, and it makes me kind of get in that position of saying we're probably closer to the end of this bull run than not.
The crypto market is up today, continuing gains from Friday due to a mix of technical and fundamental factors. On June 17th, the crypto market's capitalization grew by over 2% to $1.05 trillion, up nearly 7.5% from the $975.25 billion low seen 2 days ago. Hello, and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Gareth Soloway discusses what traders need to watch in markets after the FOMC rate hike pause. He also talks about how Bitcoin futures sitting around the $25,000 level. He then goes over how the SEC crypto crackdown is impacting Bitcoin, so without wasting any time, let's get into the video.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, part of it's valuation, right? We haven't seen any change in the economic outlook overall. If anything, the Fed has been a little bit more hawkish after yesterday's meeting, and you've seen multiple expansion. It's no one's saying, hey, we're going to go back to this robust growth in the economy. It's more like, yeah, we still may get a slowdown, maybe it'll be a soft landing, but they're not talking about us ripping in terms of economic growth. And so this has really been a multiple expansion. To me, I think the crypto story plays into it. I think crypto used to be where a lot of retail investors were playing, and now that's dead money. So that's bringing money and chasing names like NVIDIA and Tesla and all of these type of things. And then ultimately, it's kind of a chase for returns. I mean, you have fund managers that are saying, hey, listen, we got to be in this to get it. You have the AI story and all that stuff, and it is drawing a lot of money in. The question is, at what point do valuations get so rich that you then start to see the reversal? So, when we talked last, Bitcoin was at 30,000 and change. I said, all right, that's going to pull back. I also expected the overall asset markets to pull back as well. The asset markets haven't. We haven't seen the stock market pull back whatsoever. And you're right. I think Microsoft today hit a new all-time high, or at least touched double top. We've seen Apple make a new all-time high. So there's no doubt I've been early on that trade. But I still do believe that the market, again, is not factoring in what the rise in interest rates on such a enormous a level will mean to the overall economy. I think it's a lagging indicator, and I still expect us to be in recession by year end.
From a technical perspective, an oversold RSI prompts a price recovery or consolidation. In addition to the technical bounce, growing speculations around the first Bitcoin ETF approval in the US helped the crypto market bounce. Notably, BlackRock, an investment firm managing $9.5 trillion in assets, applied to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for a Bitcoin ETF on July 16th. Throughout its history, the company has applied for 576 ETFs, facing only one rejection. The crypto market has risen 4.5% since the BlackRock application, with market analyst Lark Davis predicting the SEC approval could have the asset manager purchase every single Bitcoin available across crypto exchanges. Excerpts from Davis's statement: only about 10% of all Bitcoin, worth $50 billion, is sitting on exchanges. 0.5% of BlackRock money movings to BTC would buy every single coin available. Nonetheless, the SEC has rejected all Bitcoin ETF applications, including those from asset managers like VanEck, ARK Invest, and Bitwise.
Yeah, it does seem like that. It seems like, Bitcoin, because of the regulation, the altcoins especially, they're in this kind of no man's land now where they're not a risk asset, so they're not going up with the stock market. But at the same time, if you hear any sort of negatives about risk assets, there's no safety hedge within there because the SEC put their foot down and kind of basically said, hey, these are almost almost all securities, and you were now going to sue all of these exchanges. So to me, ultimately, I'm a huge long-term bull on Bitcoin, but I think that, again, at some point, Bitcoin still has another leg lower. I'm not even convinced that the 15,700 level is a low on Bitcoin just yet. Now, when it comes to the stock market, I do think, again, we will see some sort of rollover mirroring past big cycles. How low we go, that's the tougher question. And again, even I'm kind of questioning the overall thesis there of what's going to be the trigger to kick us off to the downside. Yeah, so the way I'm handling it is just slowly inching into these positions. And I'm talking about like Tesla. Tesla up here has had a monster run. I think it was up 13 straight days until it had a small down day yesterday. That was a 50% retrace. And again, I look at these Fibonacci retrace levels, things like that, where you're coming and using the technicals to pinpoint. So you see the stocks extended, but we know stocks can remain extended for long periods of time. So you want other factors. In this case, Tesla has a 50% retrace from the all-time high to the lows where it was around that 100 marker. And then you take into account other names like NVIDIA, which for me, I look at it and I say, okay, the AI story is a great story. So was the dot-com story back in the late 90s, but we know that you had a flush out first. And so I'm kind of in the camp that things have gotten a little too far ahead of themselves with the AI story, and it's been a chase for the name. And I do think you'll be looking for pullbacks there. So kind of the bigger beta plays, the bigger ones that have bigger moves, those are the ones I'm slowly inching in on the short side on.
From a technical perspective, the crypto market has ranged inside what appears to be a bull flag pattern since April 2023, which raises its prospects of continuing its recovery trend toward $1.37 trillion into the second half of 2023, up 35% from current valuations. Conversely, bears will attempt to push the market cap below the bull flag's lower trend line, risking invalidating the bullish setup altogether. In this bearish scenario, the crypto market would drop toward the next major support at $875.50 billion, an important level from the June-November 2022 and March 2023 sessions.
We'll find ourselves in a recession. I think the Fed made themselves very clear yesterday that they're not going to be hiking, or I should say lowering rates for a substantial amount of time. So even if they, let's say the jobs numbers weaken and we don't see them raise 2 more times, like I think 66% of the panel said they would, then you still are looking at a situation where they're not cutting rates for a long time. So this market better be prepared for high interest rates for a long period of time.
United States Judge Amy Berman Jackson approved on June 17th an agreement between Binance US, Binance, and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, dismissing a previous temporary restraining order that would freeze all Binance US assets. Judge Jackson said on June 14th she would prefer the parties reach an agreement on their own rather than have her rule. The sides reportedly reached an agreement on June 16th. We are pleased to inform you that the court did not grant the SEC's request for a TRO and freeze of assets on our platform, which was clearly unjustified by both the facts and the law, Binance US said on Twitter. As per the approved agreement, only Binance US employees will have access to client funds until the litigation is resolved. US-based customers will retain the ability to withdraw funds throughout this period. The deal between the crypto exchange and the U.S. regulator also prevents any access by Binance global officials to private keys of wallets, hardware wallets, or root access to Binance, U.S.'s Amazon Web Services tools. So, is it a good time to invest in Bitcoin? And what's your prediction for Bitcoin in 2023? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.